Welcome to the Paint, Rest, Repeat podcast with Ros Gervais and
Laura Day, where we chat about our creative lives as artists while keeping it real and a little bit messy.
We're here to inspire creatives just like you to push past those boundaries and make art that you love. Let's dive in. Oh, hey, fellow artists. It's Ros and Laura here. Today we are chatting about social media and the love-hate relationship that many artists have with it. So whether you are a social media fanatic or you're too introverted to show your face online, this episode is packed with helpful pointers that you won't want to miss. Plus, we have a super huge, ginormous announcement for you at the end of the episode.
Wow.
Did that sound good?
That was really amazing, Ros. Good intro.
Really, Laura? Really?
And hey, congratulations. We're at 100 episodes now.
Does that mean we're old, Laura? Are we actually 100?
I think, well, we're coming up to 4 years now. So that's pretty amazing. Well done. High five through the screen for YouTube.
That's romance.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
And to think it was just like an Instagram message, you know, and just like throwing out an idea and be like, hey, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast too. And then
let's just do this thing. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been pretty amazing. 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great.
So today, what are we talking about? Social media burnout.
Yes, that's the topic. Social media burnout.
How to avoid it. And also, if we're experiencing it, how to get ourselves like out of that funk. Does that sound right?
Yeah. And we're not talking about medical burnout or things like that. It is just, you know, getting tired or fatigued of chasing the algorithm, coming up with ideas, coming up with new content, sharing. It's all about that rather than the medical side of burnout.
Yes, because we did want to be really respectful around that, because we both know that, yeah, medical burnout, that's a whole other kettle of fish. Mm-hmm. All right. So social media burnout. So we're sort of talking about artists who might just be sort of like over the algorithm, drop that line all the time. Bloody algorithm hates me, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And just exhaustion from, being on the treadmill, creating all the content. What am I going to post next? That whole feeling. And maybe also, related to that feeling of being owned as well by the algorithm,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
constantly chasing. Yeah.
You know what? Sorry. Sidetracked already. Is this whole idea, I heard about this locus of control thing, which I've heard about before, but if you haven't heard of it, there's like the whole internal locus of control versus the external locus of control. And so in this context, it's like looking at social media and going, I'm not getting anywhere because damn the algorithm sort of thing. That's an external locus of control. Internal would be going, I'm not getting anywhere because, I need to do more research in what to post or, whatever it is. So I just thought I'd randomly drop in that share.
Yeah, that's so interesting because, there is the conflicting, sides like internal and external. So that could be an interesting reflection point for people. Like, is it mostly the outside that you feel like you're under control? It's like, Instagram's not showing me the way it was. I'm not getting the traction and the views. It's all like the algorithm. Or is it something within you? And I guess we're going to be talking about these topics today, and some would be internal. So it would be, if you're shy or introverted and you don't want to show your face online, that would be like an internal factor as well. Really interesting.
Hey, also, I just have to excuse any background noise. It is like bucketing here in Sydney. It just won't stop. So if you hear that pitter patter, I don't think our podcast editors are going to be able to clear that one out. All right. Oh, you're
I
not hearing
can't
it.
hear it. No,
Oh,
I
that's
think your
good.
microphone does a really good job of the background noise. I actually can't hear it at all. Okay, so what is social media burnout? Let's focus. So, yeah, it's about fatigue, creating content, yeah, feeling like, it's hard to come up with ideas for all your posts and stories and reels and feeling like you have to do all the things. Just being on the treadmill. And yeah, it maybe you're worried about like losing followers. So you feel like you have to be on this treadmill or train and just keep creating content.
Yeah,
And
it's a
so,
thing.
yeah. And so why are we talking about this, Roz, today?
Well, mainly because I think social media it's a very popular place to be for artists. Like surely there are many artists that aren't on there for sure. I heard something about invisibility being the new trend in artists marketing. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm on board with invisibility because how are people going to find you? But instead we have a lot of people on social media because it's free. It's a free option to get our art seen. And I mean, I do promote it usually. We just have to have our heads screwed on so that we don't get intense comparisonitis or anything like that. And we don't let the algorithm, be our boss essentially. But yeah, that's why we're talking about it, because it's such a, popular place to be for artists. But it can also be a bit of a disheartening space if we let things get to us too much. And we both of us, do the artist coaching. So we know we talk to people, many artists who do share this sort of a thing with us. So it's a phenomenon. If you are listening and you are feeling that way as well, please know you are definitely not alone. This is a thing. Yeah, that's why we're talking about it today. We want to help you out.
Yeah. And so lots of artists have like found success online and in the Instagram space. And if you've been on it for a while as well, it has changed like quite a lot. And so if you're comparing it to like pre-COVID and all of that, like I think, the way that it works, the way that even the content as well, like the type of content that you're asked to put on there. So predominantly Instagram was like a photo sharing app, and people found success and quite a lot of reach earlier on, but then now it has changed to video content. So yeah, it's really interesting just to see how the whole landscape has changed and how it's relevant for artists. So really, for any artist that is online or wants to market their work, this episode's for you. It's for the artists that are sort of having that internal struggle, like Roz was talking about earlier in the episode. And so some people that like creatives that want to have more reach, they want to sell their work, or people that are sort of experiencing this burnout, as we call it, or fatigue with creating content. And maybe, we'll share some pointers for them to get out of their social media slump. What do you say, Roz?
Sounds good. So we've actually planned this episode and we have two sections. So the first section is about prevention. So setting yourself up so that you don't get to this point of burnout and exhaustion and I hate social media. And the next section is all about basically treatment. So if you are already in that space, how can you sort of regroup and get back into the swing of, something that might be more sustainable for you, for example. So yeah, in that space of the prevention, so trying to sort of stop yourself from going into that negative space with socials, we have a couple of pointers. So the first one here is, to go for slow and steady. And I see this all the time. I see artists coming across, new parts of their art business. It might not just be Instagram or social media, but coming across something new, getting excited, going in gung-ho, posting, 3 times a day, and they can keep it up for a month. Then after that, it's nothing because they've already burnt out and they're already tired and exhausted by that rhythm. So it's about that slow and steady and that consistency and basically doing it less than you think you can handle, and then building up from there. So even like our podcast, we're doing fortnightly episodes rather than weekly episodes. So just doing a little bit less than you think you can handle so that you just have a bit of flexibility in there. So that's tip number 1.
Yeah. And so planning is important as well. So if you're creating on the fly, that can cause like unnecessary stress. So blocking out some planning days and making it fun. Like you could like maybe organize to go to a cafe with a friend or just to their house, and you bring your laptop and then spend 1 to 2 hours pre-planning what you want to share. And so you've got this shared goal of like creating some content and sharing, and you can record each other if you like, or, just get some little videos. And so batching is really good for efficiency and just sort of knowing and having like a batch of content that you can like share within the next week or within the next month, and you're just sort of ahead of the game in a way.
Yep, batching is awesome. A really good way to do things, just more efficiency. And it's, yeah, you sort of get rid of that resistance as well, because I definitely have resistance to things like this. It's like, no, today is my batching day for socials. I'm all in. I'm going to be in flow. I'm going to make this happen. It's a lot more positive. Better juju. Is that a word? That's a technical word, isn't it?
Juju.
Juju.
Sure.
Energy.
It's probably in the Urban Dictionary. I don't know.
Word Hippo is the best website for wacky words. Okay. Anyway, number 2. Number 3 is to actually look at you and your social media skills and have a look and see if you're finding it hard to post and to show up, because maybe you are lacking some skills in that area and you need some education. So this is a point that actually you came up with, Laura. So I think you've worked with a few clients like this that need a little bit of, a little bit of help in this sense.
Yeah, I think you sort of have to have a look at the underlying resistance, and it could be, the education piece, because I do work with midlife women and people that are coming into this space that don't have the tech skills that maybe the younger generations have. So there is that sort of roadblock in a way, or sort of learning piece that they need to take on to get comfortable with the platform and how it operates. So yeah, it could be really good to look at some short trainings or look at some educational pieces on YouTube, or invest in some extra help. So we did a episode with Maggie McDonald, and she helps people, or artists in particular, with Instagram and creating reels. So that could be a good resource. That was episode 37. So you can go back and have a listen to that and hear from Maggie. But there's lots of like little short courses that you can do online just to sort of up your Instagram game or social media game, and just look at different ways to showcase your art and feel more confident.
Third idea, get the robots to do it. What do you think?
Yeah. So AI is really helpful. And I know that you really quite like using AI tools.
I love efficiency, so I get a little bit excited about it. So yeah, so AI is another option you could lean into for your socials, just to make it a little bit easier. ChatGPT is awesome for helping with captions and even ideas for what to post. I'm using a new, I think it's considered AI, maybe, a new tool called Meet Edgar, which is basically evergreen social media posting. So I've just started it about a week ago. So if you have been watching my socials, that might be why it's a little bit unusual, because I'm finding my feet with this new tech. But yeah, so far so good. It's quite a nice idea, this idea of it automatically posting for you and sitting back and, I don't know, having a cup of coffee. So we were talking about AI. So leading into AI to help you out, you could look at other support options. You could look for a virtual assistant to help you with your social media tasks. You can find them through Upwork is a great place, or Fiverr is another great place. And then even just looking at pre-scheduling as well, your social media content. I don't know if our listeners do that. My favorite place to pre-schedule is through a free plan on Metricool, cool being COOL. I really like that particular program for pre-scheduling content. So Yeah. What do you use? Do you do pre-scheduling?
I used to, but I have stopped. I can't even remember the name of the platform I was using. I was paying for it.
Later?
But
There's later,
yeah,
Planoly.
there's Later, and then I think there's Plannerly, and what was the one? I can't remember
The
what it
one,
was,
there's
but
so many out there.
yeah, there is. There's a lot.
Mm.
But yeah, just just Google like scheduling platforms, and then that could be a tool that could help you because we're talking to a lot of artists that are sort of starting out in business, and they might ha not have the money to invest in a VA, for example.
Mhm.
So yeah, using the pre-scheduling app might be like the first step for them. And then eventually you could probably outsource to a VA, and that would be helpful to just be more efficient and more consistent with your posting. And then also Meta has the inbuilt one through Facebook. I think you
Mhm.
can like cross post, so that's also free.
That's true. I've
So
forgotten the
yeah,
name of it for a moment. What's it called? Meta Business Suite. Sorry,
yeah,
my
in
brain
the
just turned
business
on.
suite, yeah. So
Meta
through your
Business
Facebook
Suite.
page, you should be able to schedule. But I haven't experimented with that. I just do it like in
Yeah.
app. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that works for me. So then another tip, I guess, it is your mindset, and we always talk about the mindset on the podcast. And so, just thinking about, social media isn't everything, and it can be really easy to obsess or really focus and hyper focus in like this all or nothing. Like it's like, oh, I have to do this and I have to show up online, and this is the way that you're supposed to do business. And all these other artists are online and sharing, and oh, I should be like posting like X amount of times a week, and I should be creating content like this. So it's good to like broaden your perspective and think about, because like artists have been making and selling art for years and years and years. And think about the time before social media, and artists were still selling their work. So there is all of those old school ways of presenting and marketing your work outside of this social media and online bubble. I know that we're in the current world, and it is a big part of running your creative business, but it's also very important to look after your mental health. And if it is causing unnecessary burden or stress, just sort of like broadening that perspective and like looking at your mindset around social media and showing up online.
Yeah, I think it's those shoulds and those have tos that just need to be investigated because again, that's the locus of control. Is it you're doing the thing because you should do it, or you're doing the thing because you decide that in your business you agree and believe that that's important? Because there is no right and wrong. You're the
Mhm.
boss of your art and your art business. You get to call the shots. So yeah, noticing those shoulds, investigating those.
Yeah.
All right. So our next section is all about if you are experiencing that burnout, how you can sort of help yourself to come back. And really the first note that we've made here ties back to that last point, which is just remembering that you are actually the boss. So take back that control. Think really broadly about what it is that you want out of social media, because it doesn't have to be the same as what anyone else wants out of those platforms. And then think about how you can realistically achieve that in an efficient sort of a way that is sustainable as well over time. So that's the tip on that one. What else do we have there, Laura? A couple of extra points too.
Yeah, so if you've lost your motivation and still like need to post something, um, just start with the area that you enjoy the most. Because if you're finding like you're resisting in a certain way, and you don't like posting videos, and you find that like creating reels is really difficult for you, or you're still learning about it, then why not just like post some pictures? Just go back to what Instagram was originally and just post a carousel of your pictures. Or stories are like really easy and like instant, and so like that's nurturing your biggest fans, so that's going to show that to your existing followers, and that keeps your audience warm. You can just show snippets of your life or behind the scenes, and then that's still nurturing your audience online. And it's sort of low pressure, and it's just you're still consistent.
Yeah, and allowing yourself that imperfect action as well. I do that actually all the time. Like, and share images that just are not, not where I think they should be. There's that word again. But it's like, nah, doesn't matter. The connection with my audience is more important than having, the perfect filter or whatever it is on an image that I'm going to share. Next up, we have that it is okay to take a breather. Now, we've got a note here around just prioritizing your mental health as well. A lot of people worry about, taking a breather from socials might impact your following. You might have people unfollow you and all of that jazz. Whilst I don't think that is completely untrue, your well-being is 100% the most important thing. And we'll come back to that topic actually at the end of this this episode today with our announcement. I hope you're excited to hear what's going to be coming up. But yeah, that's permission granted to take a break from socials if it's your well-being that's really suffering.
I've even deleted the app at times too, just so I could just like mentally switch off and just have a break. And yeah, you'll know, like you'll sort of see the signs when you're sort of obsessing or in the doom scrolling, or whether it's sort of impacting other areas of your life. And so, yeah, it's totally okay. I've seen artists announce their break. I've seen artists just quietly just take a break. Me currently, I don't think I've posted because I've actually been recovering from a flu for the last couple of weeks. So apart from, I think, our last podcast announcement, like I haven't really been posting too much content. So like I've lowered the stakes for myself completely with showing up online. And I'm not conforming to any set of rules, and that works for me. And yeah, so I think, your well-being is the most important thing, and taking that break to refill your cup is really important too. And so taking a break offline, we probably have like another great episode reference for you in terms of how to sell your art without using social media. So we've previously had a conversation about this on the podcast, so that might give you some good ideas. And that's episode number 68. If you want to go back in the episodes and take a listen to that. And so if you're thinking about having a little break, this can give you some other ideas to feel like you're still in momentum in your business, still marketing your art, but like it's sort of outside of the realm of social media. So yeah, there's that episode for you too.
So we wanted to summarize today and just share with you, the key takeaway, what we really want you to get out of this particular episode. And that is that you are allowed to take back that control. Okay. Don't let the algorithm own you. You are the boss. You call the shots. And keep that big picture in mind as well. Social media isn't everything. It's quite easy to get caught up in social media, because it's like a little wild microcosm that sort of sucks you in, like a vortex situation. Anyway, so it's okay to do your art business your way. Take a break if you need to. And yeah, on that note, I think we have an announcement to make, Laura.
Yeah, so the podcast is taking a micro break. Paint, Roast, Repeat is going on a little break, where Roz is taking the reins. So I personally am having a hiatus for the next 6 months, and I'll be revisiting back in February next year. I've got a few things on the cards, which I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, Roz is having a micro break, and then you'll be back on what date for solo episodes?
The 8th of October. So where the podcast is actually just going to miss one beat, which is one episode that would usually come out. And then I'll be running solos from the 8th of October, just to sort of hold the fort while Laura's, recouping and all of that jazz. I think you want to share a bit more about that in a moment. So definitely keep on listening. I've got some exciting things planned for you. It's just going to be little old me. So I really need you to join the conversation so that we can talk, quite excited about that. We'll see what happens. I'm treating it like an experiment in terms of setting up the biz text and tech sort of setup on the back end of the podcast.
Yeah, so I guess it's sort of, for me, taking 6 months off is a prime example of prioritizing my well-being and rest and recuperating. So yeah, as I said before, I'm on pause or hiatus and I'll rejoin again in February next year. And so really, I just want to take care of my health. It's nothing serious, don't worry. It's nothing like a lupus flare-up or anything. I just really need some downtime to like recharge and restore and really practice what I preach to my clients and people that I work with chronic illness. You'll totally understand. And so you can still remain connected with me. And so I'll be on Facebook and Instagram and on my email list. So if you're wanting to hear about the Vietnam retreat that I'm hosting in March next year, any of my coaching and programs, and it's a new project that I have in the works. So whilst I'm taking a break for 6 months, I'll be nurturing a project called the Creative Sanctuary. So if you're interested in creative community, well-being, that will be coming to life during this hiatus. And so look for updates on my social media or through my email list for that. And also through my email list, I sort of give little snippets of my life, my new life in Thailand, and what I'm doing here, living my beautiful new life here. So, yeah, I share a little bit more insight through my emails. So, definitely sign up for that. And the links will be in the show notes. But yeah, definitely keep listening. Roz is going to keep hold the fort, keep the energy going, and having like skipping one beat, but then we'll be back every fortnight, so it'll keep going. So I really appreciate you taking the reins and allowing me this break that I really need to like look after myself. And you've got a couple of things happening in your life, Roz. Did you want to share those?
Yeah, it's true. So we were looking at timing for when this episode's coming out, and I've got a couple of things coming up. So for people in Sydney, I've got two art fair events coming up. So the St. Thomas Art Fair on the 25th and 26th of October at the St. Thomas's School in Willoughby, and then also the Sydney Affordable Art Fair, which is from the 6th of November. And they've changed venues actually this year to Carriage Works, which is a great space in Everleigh. So pop in and come and say hi. The St. Thomas Art Fair won't be there for very long. It's like I don't have to man it. It doesn't work like that. But the Carriage Works one for the Affordable Art Fair, I'll be there. I'm with 380 Co as an artist collective, and Sandra Gale will be there as well. So come and say hi. And then if you do want any tickets to that, or any pre-sale access, make sure you're on my art email list. Or the other one, sorry, Laura, I've just always got exciting things in my brain. Is I'm also starting up a artist. What have we? I'm trying to name it at the moment. An artist
collective, artist networking. We were sort of brainstorming ideas and for names before this episode was recorded. So we haven't like
landed
come up with but yeah.
I was going to call it a social club because I want it to be fun, like cheese and wine talking and all of that jazz. But then Laura was like, no, social club doesn't sound quite. We'll get there. But if you are interested in being part of an in-person artist community, for catch-ups, for socializing, for networking, just for getting out of the studio and not being so lonely, feel free to check out my socials to find out what it's about. Send me a DM, whatever it is, and I'll connect you with the plan and what's happening. Right now, the first event that we're planning will be in Sydney, but I am sort of thinking we might be able to bring it to other cities as well, but we'll see how we go. Sydney's a starting point, but if you're interested, drop me a DM and I'll hook you up with something.
What about like a meetup? Because they have that here, like with expat meetups. So it's like an artist meetup.
It 100% is. I'm really actually very excited about, Laura. Like I've got this idea, what's it called? That jumbled event? What's the jumbled event?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Orange.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm thinking in the future, like things have to grow, but I'm thinking like big, like really exciting and like
that's amazing. Bring it to Bangkok. That would be fun.
I'll come to Bangkok. I'll bring it. That's
Yeah.
all. All right, I'm coming. That's 2026.
Yeah,
We
I feel
need
like that would be fun.
100%
We
would.
could
I
do
think,
like a tour of like the galleries and the fun laneways and like, the creative like little hubs down there.
yeah,
I've been ideating that too
yeah.
recently, but
I
yeah.
like that idea. In
Mm.
your area where you're
Yeah.
exploring too. Who are here? And you could take us around your hood.
There is like a local street artist and there's a artist village, but I'd
Yeah.
say I feel like Bangkok's like a bit of fun. Like it could be a
Mm,
long weekend away, like
mm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, long weekend in Bangkok for like creative catch-ups and
It's
like a
an
tour.
easier travel like destination as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're listening and that sounds fun,
Let us know.
let us know and yeah, just plant the seed. But not to take away from your Sydney catch-ups.
Oh, well,
Definitely reach out to Roz if that's something that you're interested in.
I'm going to take away from both of our ideas because I want to quickly read a review before we wrap up
Amazing.
our
Yeah.
episode today. So this is from somebody's account called English Miss. Hello, whoever this is. We'd like to know first names. How do we know first names? I think you have to type in your first name.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Anyway, sorry. 5 stars. They obviously would like good karma. They have said, for all creatives who feel a bit stuck, I like to paint and create jewelry, but suffer from imposter syndrome. Listening to these lovely two ladies and artist interviews has given me confidence to continue what I love. Their easy, unpretentious chat about art is refreshing. There you go.
I wonder if that's Ange. I
English Miss.
Yeah, I that's probably Ange. I met her in a cafe here, and
Oh,
she downloaded the episodes to listen on a plane on a plane
oh.
ride. So I have a feeling. Thank you if it is you, Ange, and you're listening now. Thank you. I really appreciate your kind words. And if it's not Ange, thank you, whoever it was.
How rude. It was actually Stuart, Laura. No, I have no idea. If you're listening and your name's Stuart, drop us a DM. We're just saying hi. We've actually got a lot more reviews. I'm not going to read more for in the interest of time, but I've worked out finally how to log in again to see
Yeah,
the
perfect. Well, you can save that for the next one after the break.
good
So,
idea.
yeah, Roz will be back with you very soon. I'm going away for 6 months, but I'm not going away completely. So, obviously, I'll be in the online space. You can keep in touch through my email list and Instagram, Facebook. But yeah, I'm excited to open up space for some new things and really invest in my health because I do need to build back up. And yeah,
I think it's amazing. You've got to prioritize your well-being, your health, your happiness,
Mhm.
all of that jazz is really, really important. So good on you
Mhm.
for modeling that. And yeah, I'm excited to see, what you get up to over the next 6 months. Maybe we can do some lives or something on Instagram during that period.
Yeah, definitely. We have to keep in touch and yeah.
Yay. All right, lovely listeners. If you enjoyed the episode today, please make sure you go and follow us wherever you are listening and leave us a review as well on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars for good karma. If you need to know how to leave that review, go to the show notes wherever you're listening, scroll down, and there are some instructions in there. But other than that, we'll see you all in the next episode. And Laura, I will see you online. Don't worry, I will continue annoying you.
See you next
Bye
time.
bye, everyone. Bye bye.